The evolution of everyday technology, the fascinating tech history. Right now, you're probably holding more computing power in your hand than NASA used to send humans to the moon. Wild, right? Welcome to Everyday Tech, where we explain tech without the tech talk. Please subscribe to enjoy more content like this. Have you ever paused to think about how today's advanced smartphones evolved from computers that once filled entire rooms? Or how the internet transformed from a small experimental network into the digital backbone of our connected world? How about why your QWERTY keyboard looks the way it does? These are fascinating stories of ingenuity, design, and serendipity that we often overlook in our daily lives. In this video, we take you on a journey through the evolution of processing power, the birth of the internet, and the curious tale of QWERTY keyboards. By the end, we promise you a new appreciation for the history behind the technology you rely on every day. From room-sized machines to tiny powerhouses, the evolution of computers. Imagine a computer the size of your living room that was less powerful than today's basic calculator. Let's rewind to the 1940s. Computers back then weren't at all like the ones we know today. One of the earliest was the ENIAC, Electronic Numerical Integrator and Computer, a machine so massive it took up an entire room and weighed over 30 tons. Operated using thousands of vacuum tubes, it could perform basic calculations but required extraordinary upkeep due to frequent component failures. In 1947, the invention of the transistor by Bell Labs changed everything. This tiny device replaced bulky vacuum tubes and allowed engineers to build smaller, faster, and more reliable machines. Fast forward to the 1950s and 60s, the introduction of integrated circuits, essentially multiple transistors packed onto a single chip, propelled computing light years ahead. Then came Moore's Law, a prediction made by Intel co-founder Gordon Moore in 1965. He posited that the number of transistors on a chip would double every 2 years, leading to exponential growth in computing power. And this law has largely held true, driving innovations we benefit from today. That's why your new phone feels lightning fast compared to the one you had just a few years ago. By the 1970s and 1980s, personal computers like the Apple II and IBM PC brought computing to homes and offices, marking the start of the digital age. These compact machines were user-friendly compared to their predecessors and offered endless possibilities for work and entertainment. The evolution didn't stop there. Enter the 21st century and suddenly, everything a 1980s PC could do was packed into a device no larger than your hand, the smartphone. Today's smartphones are far more powerful than even the computers used during the Apollo moon missions. From calls and text to apps and video streaming, these devices are indispensable in our daily lives. The journey from room-sized machines to pocket-sized powerhouses is one of human ingenuity and relentless innovation. The birth of the internet and the rise of a connected world. Technology isn't just about physical devices, it's also about how we connect and communicate. Few inventions have redefined connection as profoundly as the internet, but have you ever stopped to wonder where it all began? Remember the dial-up internet sound, that screeching noise that meant no one could use the phone? The story of the internet traces back to the 1960s during the Cold War. In an era of military tensions, the US government sought a secure way to maintain communication in the event of a nuclear attack. This gave rise to ARPANET, a network created by the Advanced Research Projects Agency, ARPA. ARPANET connected 4 computers at different universities. It was primitive and slow but revolutionary, laying the foundation of what we know today as the internet. By the 1970s, email became ARPANET's first killer app, allowing researchers to send messages back and forth. But the true leap came in 1989 when Tim Berners-Lee, a British computer scientist, invented the World Wide Web. Berners-Lee envisioned a system where information could be accessed from anywhere in the world through a series of web pages linked by hypertext. The combination of core technologies like HTML, HTTP, and URLs shaped the internet as we know it. The launch of web browsers, such as Netscape Navigator in the 1990s, made navigating the web more intuitive, sparking an online revolution. But the internet's true explosion in global accessibility came with the improvement of infrastructure. Fiber optic cables, satellites, and mobile networks brought connectivity to billions of people worldwide. Today, the internet underpins nearly every aspect of modern life: communication, education, e-commerce, entertainment, and even healthcare. Pause for a moment and think. In just a few decades, the internet went from a military experiment to something most of us can't live without. It's an extraordinary example of how innovation and collaboration can change the world. Decoding the QWERTY keyboard, a legacy of an old problem. Next, let's talk about something you probably use every single day but rarely think about. Your keyboard. Why is it laid out the way it is? Why QWERTY? The story starts in the late 19th century with the invention of the typewriter. Christopher Latham Sholes, an American inventor, created the first commercially successful typewriter in 1868. Early models of his typewriter used an alphabetical layout, A, B, C, D, but ran into a critical issue. The mechanical arms that stamped each letter onto paper frequently jammed when people typed too quickly. To fix this, Sholes rearranged the keys to spread out commonly used letter pairs like th and he. Enter the QWERTY keyboard, a design meant to slow down typing at that time. By the time more efficient keyboard layouts were later introduced, such as the Dvorak simplified keyboard, QWERTY had already become the industry standard. Manufacturers, typists, and businesses were too accustomed to this layout to switch. Fast forward to the age of computers and smartphones, technologies that obviously don't jam like mechanical typewriters. Yet, QWERTY persists. Why? Simply put, most of us are too familiar with it to adopt anything new. Even alternative designs like virtual keyboards or gesture-based typing often mirror the QWERTY layout for ease of use. Is the QWERTY keyboard optimal? Probably not. But its longevity is a testament to how design choices, even those made over a century ago, can endure in ways their creators never imagined. The next time you type a message or email, consider the history beneath your fingertips. You're using a layout that links you to a legacy as old as the typewriter itself. Conclusion. From massive room-sized computers to palm-sized smartphones, from a small experimental network to the all-encompassing internet, and from a mechanical typewriter layout to the QWERTY keyboards we use today, these stories show how technology evolves in fascinating ways. The devices and systems we rely on every day didn't appear overnight. They're the result of trial and error, brilliant ideas, and sometimes simple happenstance. Reflecting on these stories not only deepens our appreciation for technology, but also reminds us of the human ingenuity driving it forward. So the next time you power up your smartphone, browse the web, or type on your keyboard, take a moment to marvel at the incredible history behind these everyday tools. Thank you for watching Everyday Tech. If you enjoyed exploring the curious tales of tech history, please hit that subscribe button and join us again for more insightful content.